high skirt.
Ah,
Ah. Looking.
I don't know why it keeps giving me that problem, but anyway.
Hi.
did your cookies go
You're
stale?
Hi, everybody. Hi, Joellen.
Hey, how are you?
Good. How are you, Ron?
Very well, thank you.
Hi, Kathy.
Hi, Frank.
And hello,
And
Jenny.
Rhonda says she doesn't have a mic today. She's on the PC.
Hi,
Hi,
Ron.
Rhonda
Cindy.
said.
Hi, Cindy.
Hi.
Hi, Judith.
Hi.
And I think you just said what Rana wrote into
Rhonda,
chat. She doesn't
yeah,
have a
she
mic
wrote into
today, but
chat. She doesn't
here.
have a mic today. So we'll have to be watching for when she types in.
Hi, Rana. You can say hi.
Hi.
She can't say
I
hi.
don't see her anymore. I think,
Uh-oh.
I don't know if she's here.
And Judith's here too.
Yes,
Hi,
that's-
Now it doesn't
Judith.
think she is.
Hi, Judith.
nice to
Hi,
see you
everyone.
all. Did you have a good week?
Yes. It was a busy week and it went really fast. I
Yeah,
keep thinking things will slow down, but it never happens.
it doesn't happen for me either. I keep thinking it is going to slow down. At my
Right.
age, it should slow down, but no, it never does.
After this week, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you, Ron. I look forward to that.
That's what life is, just promising yourself that after this week, it should slow down. After
Next
this
week
week,
it's going to be, we thought this week was going to be quiet,
If I
but
could just
next
get through
week, and it
this
was not, but next week, as we know, is going to be crazy going into it.
oh,
Hmm.
I'm just on my Thursday. My weekend is Monday, Tuesday.
Oh,
I'm in the middle of my busy week.
What happened there?
Hello, Ollie. Welcome.
Hi. I got disappeared.
Oh, yes, it's Walter.
Yes.
I saw the name Wally and we don't see your picture, so
Yeah.
I thought it was a new person joining us.
No. There I am.
There you are. And Rana is back.
Oh, good.
Is this the week that Cedra was gonna be away on a cruise or something?
Oh, maybe so.
I wanted to ask her before she went, to be sure and try their Zoom meeting off of the bow of that cruiser.
Yes.
hmm.
It can be tricky from a ship.
I bet. Oh, God.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
I've been working on more socks. I started a new pair.
Oh,
And,
yay.
It's based on a gradient yarn, but I think I'm going to do the whole sock before it starts to change color.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
Oh, well, maybe
anyway,
the other sock will be a different color.
no, I'm going to start again with a new ball. So I was hoping
a
I
new
could make
ball,
them
okay.
match that way. And so actually what I'm making is two solid color socks, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Your
Maybe the
yarn.
toes will start to turn gray, but nobody would see that anyway.
You can pull it apart, cut your yarn and pull off a bunch of the solids.
Yeah, I could. I'm not that committed to it.
Well, I think too, if there's an exact, like your blue and gray and white sock, there's an exact pattern. If you just unravel down, like you weigh the two balls, you just ball one up and you get your weights kind of equal, you can kind of start at the same place.
Start at the same place. That
possibly.
particular yarn did not have repeats. I mean, it just was totally random from end to end. And so,
We're pretty
but I
high.
understand that would work for most gradient yarns that are pretty much the same from
Yeah.
skein to skein. This is just a ball of yarn that I found in my stash. I did a sweater in it. It's apple tree knits,
Oh.
Looks pretty.
plush fingering. It's 100% superwash merino. And I know normally you do socks with some amount of nylon in them, but this is what I had. And I just wanted to try out another sock pattern. I'm doing the fish lips kiss pattern that you all told me about last week. And I paid the higher price for it, all $2.79.
I did too, and now she's richer by two.
Yes. But my goodness, it's like a whole book. I mean, it's a
is a
book
whole
on
book.
how to knit
It
this sock. And she's done an amazing job with videos and everything.
And how to size everything, and her stuff works from all the way from, I've done little baby socks up to large men's, like size 13 foot.
Uh-huh.
And it fits. It does
And
really
you
good.
do the whole guide thing with tracing the foot and all that?
Mhm.
I'm doing that too, and it looks like it's
I have
working
the
really
little,
well.
I have the little foot tracing. Where I heard about this was, it was a sock class, and it was way before I did sweaters. I was like, okay, I did hats. I think I can do mittens. And then the lady at the yarn store said, if you can do mittens, you can do socks. It's just like a long hat with the heel thrown in. It's no big deal. You can do this. And so they had a sock class. There was 3 of us in there, and she taught us the fish lips kiss heel. And in class, we had to take our socks off and trace each other's feet. It was
Wow.
hysterical funny.
I put the tracings onto cardboard so they're more
Yeah,
robust.
mine is cardboard. Yeah. Mhm.
So I have a whole pile now for family with their names written on, so I know who's.
I do
foot is
too.
which. Yeah.
I do
That's
too. Everybody
great.
has a different, it's kind of like a whole big thing. Here's
Yeah.
here's mine that I'm doing.
Ooh,
This
that's
is
pretty.
Pretty.
this is that hedgehog fibers.
Yes, that's so
Oh,
cute.
I love hedgehog fibers. Wait a
And
minute, let me spotlight you so you can show it
okay.
closer up.
hedgehog fibers, and this is their rose hip color.
Mm.
Okay.
And so I've got like about 4.5 inches. I got to do 1.5 inches more before I start the heel. I'm doing this is the cat boardy basic one, page 7 from
Right.
from the book that Sumner recommended. So that's what I'm doing for there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's coming along. I've had to be in the car for a while this week, so I've done that as my car knitting. And I will notice that my ribbing is getting much nicer. See the second rib?
Oh,
is
yeah. There's no
it's very,
enlarged
very
stitch
neat.
there.
There's no enlarged stitch. I'm hoping that will really help me for level 2.
You got it down.
So,
Don't worry.
so that's good. So that's good. And then the other one that I'm doing is still working on the blue Phrancko V-neck for Jody, but it's getting pretty long.
Oh, that's nice.
Oh, that's
It's getting,
nice.
it's
Wow.
getting pretty big.
Mm.
And
Sure is a pretty color.
it's a beautiful color. This is that Jody Long Chow.
Yes.
I think I'm saying it right, aren't I, Ron? Isn't it Chow? C-I-A-O? You're muted, Ron.
Yes.
Okay, Ciao. Okay, there. So there it is.
Ciao,
So
as in the Italian
it's
greeting. Yes.
It's in the Italian. I don't know Italian, and I've never been to Italy.
You know,
Kathy's
like-
the only one that would
it's
know
what you say
that
when you're
right
riding
now.
a Vespa.
Ciao,
Ciao.
baby.
Ciao.
Yeah.
I wish they made Vespas in my size.
They do. It's called a Harley Davidson.
Yeah, that's not cute.
Ooh,
That's
I
not Roman
tried.
holiday. Unfortunately, I would look like Magilla Gorilla on it.
Not on a Harley.
No, I don't know. I don't know what I would look like on a Harley, but
Oh, super glide. You would fit on a super glide. It would be totally fine.
Yeah.
Mhm.
yeah, but I'd probably get picked up by the wrong kind of people in a bar.
Nah. They're very nice men, Ron.
And I think you're big enough that they're not going to pick you up
Yep.
unless you want to.
Yeah.
What are you doing down there? Okay.
So Rana explained in chat that she got bounced off, but she came back and she says hi to
Oh,
everybody.
good.
Hi, Ron.
Hi, Rana.
All
Glad
right.
you're here.
What were you saying about your sweater there. I was talking to my mother on the telephone.
Oh,
So
I was just saying that it's going really good. Everybody said they like the yarn and like the color, and I was saying that it was the Jody Long Chow, and I like working with this yarn. It's very
yeah,
nice.
it's a nice, it has a very good
And-
feel on the hand. It's
And my
very,
stitches look really even. I mean, it's very nice.
yeah.
Complain. Or I won't complain. I guess I could if I wanted to, but I'm not going to.
Yeah, there's always something you could complain about.
Sorry, I'm a little rummy. The grandkids have been here for the last several days and it's just been loud and noisy. They finally are gone right now to a soccer game. So they'll be back and we'll have to do dinner and they'll be here again tomorrow. And my sister-in-law and brother-in-law were here and they finally left. And so I'm just a little bit rummy. I really need a nap.
You
but
need to
that's
build
not
a
gonna
false
happen.
wall in that room about the size of a train compartment with a little cot in it.
That would work. That would
And then
work.
you could just like, where did she go? I don't know. But then you're
I
in your
don't know where
secret
she
room
is.
having a nap.
That's true. That would be a good idea. And it would need to be soundproof so I couldn't hear them thumping up and down the hall or yelling or bouncing the ball or making the
they
dog bark.
Playing in the soccer game? Or are they spectating?
No, they're playing. They're
Oh,
playing.
good. Maybe they'll have all of their energy run out. I understand that some children have
Probably
energy.
not.
No, they'll probably be hungry.
I never did. I've basically always been this person, which was unpleasant for most of the adults in my life, I recall. But I don't know what would happen
Well-
if someone tried to make me play a sport, so I would collapse.
Some of the most creative and energetic children, I think, make wonderful adults. But when they're kids, I just want to tell them to sit down and shut up.
Yeah.
It's like I like it for a while, and then after that, it's like I'm tired. Just leave me alone.
Yes.
Isn't it?
The children have that habit of asking questions. And my mother likes to tell people that when I was small, I just wandered around making corrections, revisions, and offering trivia, but was never inquisitive. I had books for questions.
I think children from 12 and below should never go to a restaurant until they're up in their 15 years old because they scream so much.
Oh
It
no, I
drives me
think by the
absolutely
time they're like
nuts.
14 to 18 or 20, you should just lock them in the closet
Yeah.
and bring them out when they're an adult.
Yeah.
You know, the little guys are a lot better. At least you can like control them. But when they get to the teenage, it's like, oh,
Ugh.
And the way they behave once they hit retirement.
it's really bad. I know. I can't.
Yeah,
hardly
watch
stand
out for our
Jerry right
folks.
now.
I don't know if you're not getting stimulated enough at home. What's going on?
Rana is asking you, were you as funny as a kid as you are now?
It depends on who you ask.
Ah,
If you ask me, absolutely.
Yeah,
If you
absolutely.
ask your mom,
My mother and I get on, but maybe my sister would have a different opinion. She's had sort of a dissenting opinion on whether I'm funny now, in point of fact.
Yeah, that's right. Understandable.
Yeah, that's how it works.
so
don't
Joanne,
know.
you look like you're knitting. What are you working on?
Yeah, I'm still on wild purple, but it's getting longer by the minute.
Ooh,
Oh,
that's
nice.
lovely.
Oh, yes.
Oh, that's
yes.
turning out so nice.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Now, that's just the way is that just the way the yarn is striping, or are you doing that?
That is the yarn striping. That's not
Oh,
me.
It's beautiful.
I love that combination.
Which collar
Mhm.
did you do? The rounded collar?
I am doing the scoop.
The scoop, I see.
I'm
Well, I think
just
you'll be
not-
one of the first who've done that we've seen. I
Oh,
mean,
yeah?
it has been test knitted, and then the person who tested knitted it didn't finish the sweater. She decided to do something else with with the yarn, I think. And,
I made one for my mother.
oh, did you?
Yes.
Okay.
We talked about one before,
keep
but I wasn't.
Waiting to hear somebody who's doing the scoop neck sweater, but I haven't,
Yeah.
Mine came out.
Probably
Because
just
I
mid-
did the round neck,
yeah.
was the one that I did.
There was a, Catherine, you finished one of your sweaters with, you called it a twist something? Your finish around the neck, twisted stitch?
Oh, yeah, that was that twist, that on that crop top, you mean?
Yeah, it was really pretty. Yeah, I was wondering what that was called. Or,
I just made it up. It was just,
of course.
it's just a purl two, knit two, but you're twisting the pearl, the second pearl under the two knits as you're going around.
I'm sure somewhere that is clear to someone.
It was not clear to me either, Joellen, so
You
join
know,
the crowd.
I don't remember how I wrote it in the instructions.
It seemed to lay down very nicely.
It does.
Rana would like to see the Rana would like to see the top again, Joellen.
Her top?
Your top.
Yours.
Yours.
Yes, Joellen. Rana has asked for it.
Hold it back towards your body a little bit and the light's better. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
There you go.
Oh, and we can see
Beautiful.
the pattern better at the bottom. Yes.
Oh, yeah, there it is.
Oh, I didn't see the pattern at the bottom. I was just seeing the color. of the
Beautiful.
yarn. I like that.
That's nice.
Thank you.
So what's the pattern at the bottom?
Yeah.
Pattern is 4 rows and 4 stitches. The first row is a knit, purl, knit, knit, and then you knit, and then you do a knit, 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 and purl. So like Catherine said the other day, it kind of winds up with a little bit of a zigzag, but with spaces between, so it's not a definite. It's kind of little splotchy all overs. I got that off of a sock pattern that's called Hermione.
Oh, yes.
Hermione's
Oh,
sock.
yeah.
And that's how that pattern they do that their sock, and I like that.
Really pretty. It works, it's subtle enough. It works well with this variegated yarn. Yeah.
Thank you. I'm amazed, you know, with these 2 yarns together, this is the main yarn and it's fairly light.
Mhm.
And then the purple's dark, but purple is dominant over this sweater. I thought, you know, the light
Mhm.
gray and stuff would kind of calm it down, but it's real thin. But it-
Wow.
I would not have guessed, seeing the sweater and then seeing those 2 yarns, that was the yarns you were using to knit that sweater with. I would have thought something a lot darker.
Mhm.
Oh, well, I was amazed how dark it came out, but yeah, I like it. So I'm okay there.
Yeah, I think the color is really good.
I think
you.
actually it's prettier together than either one is separate.
Yeah. It is.
Mhm.
They seem to, and you know, I don't know if y'all, I'm sure you have. I have knitted 2 threads together where they fought one another. One that just wouldn't cling and work well together. One wanted to go fast, one to go slow. But these 2 just are like they're twins, and I've had no difficulty with twisting or one being easy to pull and the other not. I wondered if is that a normal trick just by knowing your yarns, which was an accident, let alone on my part. Ron.
Ron.
Well,
Yes.
yes. If,
Ron, the yarn expert here.
if the yarn materials are very different and neither of them are particularly scaly. So for example, if you use a cotton yarn together with a superwash wool, for example, they're
Mhm.
not going to be able to grab onto one another.
Right.
So what's going to control the way they interact is the natural twist of the yarn. Siri is taking all of this down. The twist in the yarn's actual construction and how much twist you put in while you're knitting. So you may find that you're tugging on one yarn and putting more twist into it as it works, causing the other one to loop up, which is the structure of, say, like a very loose boucle style yarn. One just runs faster than the other.
Mhm.
And if they're spun quite differently, they could in fact fight one another. And spinners get into a whole lot of detail about how many plies do what thing when compiled with which other yarn. And it is a really true thing, but mohair, you got something that's fuzzy, right? I don't know if it's actually
Yes.
mohair, but it's
Yeah.
a fuzzy guy. And Noro, and all of Noro's line, they often have silk and cotton in them. Which kind of Noro is that?
What is this one?
Is it crayon or Cleopatra or?
Yeah.
The World of Nature, and it is got 40% cotton, 25 silk, 25 the viscose. I don't kind of like viscose.
Viscose? Yeah.
10% polyamide.
Yeah, so that's all going to be smooth yarns or fibers. So what you're probably seeing is the natural grippiness of the mohair, of the lightly spun quality of the Noro working together to hold them nicely. Like if that Noro, if you had another yarn of the same composition, spun very tightly and very smoothly, it wouldn't grab onto anything.
Yeah,
Those
okay.
fibers are very slick.
Yeah.
But the preparation plus the mohair, you got it right in one. I got a T. Isn't
Dear
that nice?
accident.
Oh,
wish-
very nice. Tim brought you that.
Yes. Oh, perfect.
Okay.
Would you like to see what I have?
Sweet.
Please.
Number one, this little guy.
Oh,
the
yay,
baby.
you got it done. Oh,
Cute. Very
Isn't it
cute.
Yeah.
Don't cover up the
That turned
cute
out
little
really good.
shoulders. Yeah, there we go.
That's darling.
So yeah, the shoulders, they're blocked up cute. The hem treatment, I really like. It looks
Yes.
like shirring, like where things have that elastic sewn into them. It's a cotton yarn, so the ribbing doesn't have
Oh,
much stretch in it, but I think it's really cute.
oh,
It
I
is
want
very
one
cute. It's
for
adorable.
myself.
And then just 3 rounds of ribbing on the sleeves and the neck.
Yeah, it's adorable.
And so I did a survey for myself, just like personally counting back and looking at things. This is the 15th Phrancko garment that I have knit.
Wow.
You are kidding me.
Wow.
15.
Stop.
It was
There
13 for a
should be
while, and then I
special
remembered one I
award
forgot at
for
home.
Ron.
And then I realized I forgot another one. So unless I've forgotten any other ones, this is the 15th little
That's
Phrancko.
Love the pattern, love the color, the fabric.
I may.
Oh,
So right now, I've started one for myself that I can work on quite slowly because I'm switching to finishing up my patterns and working on my design thing. So this is just something I can work on leisurely. What are we even looking at here?
What is it upside down? Of course it is.
Kinda. It's an integrated collar. So
Oh, okay.
here's the shoulders.
Okay.
You can see the stitch pattern?
Sort of.
Yeah. Mhm.
Thank
A
you,
little bit.
Rana. So just a little bit of a thing. It's true strands of yarn held together. I'm obsessed with offset printing. Is this something I've ever talked about? I talk about a lot of stuff. Like CMY printing, CMYK printing, I love. So I found some colors that I'm doubling up and doing like a marl in those primary
Wait,
colors.
wait, don't put it away. I haven't quite understood what we're looking at.
Okay.
Is there a neck hole in there somewhere?
So if I put this way, this is the top of the shoulders. We're looking at the back on the bottom, the shoulder fronts, the front shoulders are on the top here. But rather than a cast on right there, I'll point with my nose, rather than casting on, that is this piece of garter stitch fabric that will be the back collar.
Oh, I see. Okay.
So
Interesting.
I can't really do it with it on the hook or on the needles like this, but
ah, Okay, okay.
Yeah.
There's the front of it, and then
Mhm. And the
that's
collar.
helping. So it's gonna
Oh.
have a big integrated shawl collar.
Yeah.
Oh, oh,
Right.
that's what
It'll
you mean
make
by
more sense
integrated.
next week when
Yes, I
it's
think
not
so.
black
Right.
and it looks like nothing, right? Like, what is that? Like the top of
Oh,
the
no,
hair?
when you hold it up like that, you could actually see a little bit more of the shape of it a little bit better.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah,
So
like, okay, that's
So
the
you
collar.
put the
It's gonna
shawl
fold over.
collar in. Wow.
Mm.
Before.
I am interested to know how you're going to complete that, but we'll see next week, I guess.
yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of shawl collars, I am writing up the pattern for my next publication, which some of you may remember seeing the green shawl collar and the dark blue
Yes.
herringbone fabric. I've sent it off to the publisher, to Arinda, and it's being prepared for publication in the next issue of Cast On magazine. And
Yay.
I'm going to, after I get the pattern written up for the publication, I'm going to take that pattern and incorporate it into the website. So it will, in
Oh,
effect,
cool.
add the shawl collar pullover to the website, which of course could easily become a shawl collar cardigan if somebody didn't want to close the collar.
Right.
Very cool.
This is the swatch of my colors.
Wow.
Oh,
Cool.
So now what is that one for?
Huh?
What
Yeah.
is that
It's a little-
swatch for?
This was for that sweater that I was knitting. This is the color
Oh,
test.
okay.
Oh,
So it's part of
Decided I
it.
didn't like this blue. Replace it with this this color, this cyan color.
Mhm. Cyan green. Mhm.
And this is the swatch for the gauge in the pattern.
Hmm.
So I've got two swatches, one for color test, and this is the stitch pattern.
Gauge.
But the
Okay.
sweater, the sweater looks much darker than both of those.
yeah.
Yeah, there are 4 different yarns,
You're,
but I'm switching colors throughout.
it just looks
Okay.
dark.
So the color is going
It
to be
is.
black.
This is black, and then
Okay.
at a certain point, these other colors will be added.
Okay, all right. Now
Okay.
I understand.
So this was the test for the colors that are going to be most of the body, down to the shoulders. It'll be black, and then marled like that.
Wow. Kind of reminds me of a TV test screen.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I thought of a little rainbow.
This is not, this is only a test.
Don't panic.
Yes.
If it was real life, you would be given instructions.
Frank, can I ask you a quick question?
Why, sure.
I was wondering about your sweater pattern, if you could also make it into a, say, a poncho, where you don't make your sleeve, but you'd have that nice fit up here at top, and then just go straight down to have a poncho.
Oh,
Hmm.
oh,
Yeah.
yes.
Or even,
In other words, you
even
would do the whole top down to the point where the pattern says to start the what I call the diagonal recess.
right.
It's the double increases on each side of the sleeve cap, and you just wouldn't do those, and just keep knitting straight down from there. Well, it'd be kind of a narrow one. I guess you'd have to
Yeah.
keep putting, you'd have to keep putting
Probably.
increases in and to make it spread out, I guess.
That's what
Eight
I
and
do. I just do
increases.
more increases.
It'd be a
That's
really
cool.
interesting poncho. In fact, it's not even really a poncho, is it? I mean,
It's almost a shawl.
it's more like
yeah.
a wraparound shawl or something. Yeah,
don't
Well, if you
yarn.
opened it like
Or
a
a cape.
cardigan,
yeah.
Cape.
Well, you could make
Yeah,
it like a
open the
cape.
front, you'd
If
have
you
a
had
cape.
it open in the front, it would be a cape. But some of the capes I found a interesting pattern. It was from like the 1940s, and it was a nurse's cape. And it had those really very, very fitted sleeves. And it was made, of course, with a lot of different pieces but it was made like a sweater, but then they didn't close it under here. It just went down. And but yeah, it was a nurse's cape. So it was quite interesting.
Let's see.
Only in one size, of course.
Wow,
in
you're giving
fingering
me
weight
new
yarn.
ideas of things to do here.
Once you start thinking about it, you can make all kinds of little armholes or like
Yeah.
open up the whole thing or make a
Yeah.
hood.
You could just continue increasing down and then put just holes at the wrist to make a dolman.
Yeah.
Oh, that
Mm,
would look cool.
that would be cool.
Mhm.
You could also just not narrow the front of the neck and let it go straight down from the sides of the neck and be like a cape.
Mhm.
I love I have a little wool poncho that looks like I rode in from the Western trails, but I love it. It's this thick wool. I bought it at a flea market or something, and I've worn it forever. And if you want to be warm, put that thing on. And it's open on the sides.
Oh,
It's just like
yeah.
a blanket with a split up the
which
front.
is more like a poncho with open on the
More
side.
like a poncho, yeah. Yeah.
That's a very interesting idea. I'm going to have to be thinking
There.
of that.
I just wanted to give you something to be busy with this winter.
Yeah, thanks, Joellen.
Not
Yeah.
busy enough, right?
I
Because we're
mean,
not busy enough.
There. I have this little Fashionpedia book
Ah,
that I was gonna show Kathy anyhow. But it would be like, can you see, is that in at all? Come on, focus. No, it doesn't
Oh,
want
yeah.
to.
Put it closer.
There it
There we
is.
Closer.
can see it
Top
now.
of,
Yes.
like the top of an Inverness.
Try putting
Yes.
it closer to the camera.
Focus, would you?
There we go.
Yes, like that.
Mm.
Yep, exactly like that.
Aye.
Or
Yeah.
with more increases
Yeah.
yep.
Oh, yes.
in the saddle shoulder.
Aye.
Hmm.
Wow.
Oh, that's very
That's-
interesting.
That's a
I
nice book.
use this, I just got this tiny version of this dictionary or encyclopedia of fashion, basically.
Fashion.
Yeah,
media.
I was looking to get that. So you
I,
think
I
that-
highly recommend it. I got their textiles one first.
Yeah.
The pocket
I have the
textile
textile one too after you had
Textilepedia.
recommended it.
And then they just came out with the pocket size Fashionpedia. If you are a design type person, it's a really fun reference and just, it's full of silhouettes and styles. It talks
Oh,
about
nice.
materials and cleaning. And there's like handy charts of how to take measurements and what common measurements are in the back. It's just sort of a really cool reference that floats around my office now.
Wow.
I'm gonna have to get that.
Yeah,
Mm.
highly recommend.
Well, I got paid Friday, so that's okay.
Great.
Well, I just looked it up on Amazon. It's not a cheap book.
Yeah, I know, it's not. That's why I've been hesitating and I thought,
It's an investment, yeah.
It
But
looks
it's
it looks great though. I
really
agree.
comprehensive. It's a well-made little book. I feel like you could abuse this for years. And there's just so much about the styling, like all of these pocket styles
mhm.
and like
Oh,
what
that's
they're
great.
called. So if you have an idea, just like a pocket that's like, meh, 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 and then you can look it up. Oh, it's actually called this, and look for more
Yeah.
information.
Yeah,
Wow.
Really,
That seems like a
it-
very useful book for
it's a
those
pretty
of us.
penny, but if you're a design type person, I don't know, I don't regret getting it. I've come up with, it's helped me come up with a lot of ideas for things,
oh yeah, absolutely.
as if I needed.
That's my favorite part, is designing the things.
So there's an off the cuff recommendation
All right, I will do
from a verified user.
it. Yes, which is why I haven't gotten it yet, because I hadn't heard of anybody that had it.
Love it. I mean, I loved Textilepedia. I used that as a big reference in my, I'll turn my light back on. I use one of my primary references in my fiber report
Yes.
portion of the level 1 design program. It was invaluable. So, well, I guess it wasn't invaluable. They put a pretty good value on it. But it was useful. And this is just like such a great resource to just thumb through and percolate on. I love it.
That's cool. Yeah, I'm working on my fiber report right now.
And
Gotta
I
get
mean,
it done.
as a sidebar, one of the reasons I particularly love it is that it includes both men and women's, like masculine and feminine fashion, which many books, like fashion things, just don't address unless it is a menswear book. So I appreciate when it's just like everything.
Yeah.
Kathy, what are you working on?
Me? I'm
Yeah.
working on getting over jet lag. No, I'm starting, I've finished 2 sweaters and I'm working on finishing Carolyn's. And then after I finish Carolyn's, then I'm gonna start my saddle shoulder test knit. Sumner's doing one too, but I wanna do my own and make sure everything is correct in the code, so.
Right.
Yeah, so that's what I'm working on. And I've started selling yarn. I haven't advertised it because I'm really going to start selling it at the show next spring. But Hedgehog Fibers, I got Hedgehog Fibers. I got an account, so I'm pretty happy with that.
Is that right?
Yay.
I'm not selling. I don't think I'm selling anything that Ron is selling because I didn't want to compete. Because this is just online and it's mostly for the next few years until I have everything working and designers can sell and use the site to sell their yarn and sell whatever, and stores can use the site to sell and design. So I got plans, but you know how long it takes to write the software.
If you need a shop to go in on a beta with you as you're putting things together, I'm happy to try and help you integrate as a brick and mortar that.
When I got there, I was going to ask you, Ron. I wasn't too shy, but I know that it's like Cindy said, make the site perfect first. So that's what I'm working at.
What's good for one of us is good for all of us, is my thought on the industry. So
yeah, I think so.
Me too.
So that's the thing. But I was very excited to get a Hedgehog Fibers account. So, yeah, that'll be cool. Can do a lot.
I really
so
like their
in
yarns.
conjunction with that, I'm working on a feature for multiple yarns, supporting multiple yarns, and in the, both in the charting and in the instructions. And you know how you write a swatch and you have to figure out the yardage, calculate your yardage, and all of that. So it's coming along. That's what I did on my vacation. Besides, look at Italy.
How was your vacation?
It was good. I mean, it's beautiful. I'm glad we went. And my friend we went with a friend who used to live there. So that was pretty special. And Tuscany was incredibly beautiful.
Isn't it?
Yeah. But I can't say Italy's my favorite place. It's very, very crowded. Yeah.
And they just elected a fascist leader.
And while I was there.
Yeah.
And that was a surprise. What?
It makes you feel like you're home.
Yeah. Well, if we have a fascist leader, I'm already preparing for my move to Scotland. So.
I still haven't forgiven the Italians for stealing noodles from China and then renaming them paste.
Paste. Well, I don't know.
Meat strips.
So they literally copied and pasted.
They copied and pasted, yes.
Oh, very good.
Tim, ladies and gentlemen. Be here all
I
week.
am tired of pasta, that's for sure. I didn't. We came home and the first thing we did yesterday morning at 10:30, Smashburger opened and we went and got a hamburger.
Oh.
And, oh, it was so good.
You mean you didn't go out for a spaghetti meal, huh?
No, no, yeah, actually they had Thai curry on the plane home, which was quite delicious.
That's a treat.
They're just like, oh yeah, I'll have that. No more pasta, please.
Thai curry bolognese. Tim specially brought along his tank that he finished because he wanted to show everyone.
Oh, good.
Oh, yes.
I almost forgot, and then he was too shy to ask.
He shouldn't be.
God, that's
how
great.
nice.
Love those colors.
Wow.
That's been the number one thing that people have seen as they come in, as he's been working on it, is those colors. They are
Wow.
very much, he's put it away already.
Oh, I have.
Great work.
No,
Yeah,
it's
nice.
great.
Wow.
They are
Oh,
very,
I
like the
liked,
ribbon down the
I liked
middle.
the
That's
ribbing
terrific.
portion.
yeah,
how it
Yeah.
was, how
They're
parts
what
of it
we
is
call
plain, part of it is
Oh.
around
ribbon.
the shop, Tim colors.
Nice.
Nice
Awesome.
work.
Very nice.
Tim
Nicely
is a
done.
spring.
Tim is a spring.
Yeah,
Yeah, me
What-
too. Those are colors I always wear.
he's got those light eye colored eyes and hair colored hair.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Eye-colored eyes and hair colored hair.
Light eye colored eyes.
Oh, okay.
He has gray eyes, which is nice.
Yeah, those are piercing.
No, he doesn't have any eye piercings.
Oh,
That's pretty punk rock.
Don't make me come over there, Ron.
So now I'm just letting him make a hat for a sample, and then I'm going to start pressing on him to start his Phrancko for himself.
Phrankos, yes.
I'm excited. I want to do a color changing yarn and have it like gradient into itself
oh, that's cool.
and then back out.
Very nice.
And then back out. Yeah.
Mm.
The process for that tank was a lot of, okay, here's my stripe. And then he like finished the ball and said, I think I want to do another color. And then he would go get another color and come back. And then like, should I go back to the old color and make strip? No, I'm going to get a new color. he was pantsing it on this one, as opposed to planning it, but pretty iconic.
Mhm, very much so.
Hmm.
Judith, are you still there? I can't see everybody at one whack.
Oh,
There you
I'm
are.
here.
I sent Cindy a note and because I missed out on last week because I heard that your country had a big storm, and she reminded me that there's probably a rather large country and you're not necessarily where that storm was, off your coast side.
Right. I'm west. Okay, so the hurricane was east.
Yes.
How do you say? You can say easter.
Yeah.
More to the
Further east.
Or
further east. Thank
Further
you.
east.
So
Mhm.
easy. Further east than where I am.
Not the problem.
So no, we didn't have any particular weather change because
Oh.
of that Fiona.
It was pretty strong storm, wasn't it?
Oh, we, yes,
Yeah.
yes, terrible.
Yeah,
I
it was,
heard some people from PEI, Prince Edward Island, saying they were talking about winds up to 170 kilometers per hour. So
Oh,
I guess, yeah, it's terrible. So, and there was a fiber festival planned that past weekend, so it got canceled at almost the last minute. So it's
mm,
very
Mhm.
sad for them.
Oh,
So yeah,
glad you're
Once or
safe.
twice a year, I get some seafood imported from PEI. I wonder how those farmers are doing. It's terrible.
I don't know. Yes,
I imagine if your produce is in the ocean and a hurricane comes by.
yeah.
I
Well,
always
while
wonder
we're on the
about,
subject of hurricanes, we have to mention the horror in Florida this week.
Mm,
Nobody here is from Florida, but
no. But a lot of
North
our friends are down there.
yes.
Mm.
Friends,
Carolina's had a
relatives.
hard time too, no?
So what happened? Because I was gone.
Oh, a category 4 that was just 2 miles per hour less than a category 5 came across the Gulf and into the west coast of Florida,
Ooh.
and absolutely, completely immersed Fort Myers, Florida,
Mhm.
and it practically leveled the town. I mean, it looks like from the
Oh.
photos, and you know, there are all these boats with marinas, and the boats are all piled on top of each other, and they've not yet come up with a number of deaths.
Oh my gosh.
It's really bad.
Recently, they just said 50, so,
Did they?
There
yeah,
are entire neighborhoods unaccounted for.
right.
Hideous.
They said there wasn't any county that was not affected in Florida. Every town, every county was affected.
The hurricane was so large, it reached all the way from the southern tip of Florida to the north of Florida.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Well, that was the way it was written.
Then it went to Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, and devastated them too.
Carolinas
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh gosh.
now.
Yes, it crossed Florida and then picked up strength again as it went over the corner of the Atlantic up to the
Carolina.
coast of South Carolina. But it wasn't a Hurricane 5. It was, but
It
it
was a
was,
tropical
it
storm,
still had
right?
enough
Tropical storm
devastation.
one, yeah. And we got the rain today, so.
But they're saying it was one of, if not the most devastating storms that has hit America.
Mm.
Yeah, they were
So far.
so far. Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
this warming thing's gonna prove to be a booger. Walter, where are you?
I'm in Long Island. I'm in New York.
Oh, okay. Explains that accent.
Yes, I do have an accent.
Everyone does.
I don't. And I say things like Easter.
Right. But you're looking for eggs or
Real word.
And I say
I love
river.
it.
We
Easter
call
and
things a
oyster.
nor'easter.
Sorry?
We call storms a nor'easters coming from the northeast, the nor'easter.
That comforts me.
I guess that will count as our talk about the weather today.
Yeah, it's not about the heat this time, it's
No.
about the hurricanes.
So I'm looking forward to fall. I can hardly stand it.
Where are you, Joellen?
Indiana. I'm in
Indiana.
the southwest corner of
Indiana.
Indiana, close to Illinois and Kentucky. I think Kentucky, I could almost throw a rock. You have to cross a bridge over the Ohio in Kentucky right there.
The Hoosier State.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
She said it was Indiana.
Yeah, they're Hoosiers.
Yeah.
Oh, as though he said, "Who's your state?"
Oh.
Uh,
Yes, unfortunately, I've always been this funny. They can't all be winners, people.
They're all winners. I've only been here about 8 years, moving on 8 years.
Yeah, because you have a southern accent.
No, I don't.
Lots of people in Southern Indiana do.
I
Say
had
what?
someone who
Yes, you
lived in the
do.
South
Yes,
ask
you
me
do.
how I'm from the South because
When I was in California, they were always talking about my accent, and I was trying to stop.
The Bakersfielder accent is very strange because we have both the California vowel shifts and borrowed Southern English things from Dust Bowl migration that
Yeah,
became
yeah.
one particular accent here in the Southern San Joaquin Valley.
Hmm.
So it's interesting linguistically, the particular accent of Bakersfield and its surrounding environs.
Well, another thing that seems to pop out on my, and I didn't realize it until I went to California, is I call everybody honey, baby, sugar, pie.
Oh,
It
yeah.
just, it's a natural thing, and yes, ma'am, no, sir, and they're all going, don't call me sir, don't call me ma'am.
Yeah. That's just a very strange generational thing here. Like, it does come across as like
Okay.
rude and off-putting to many younger, by younger, I would say like under 55, like that generation of
Right.
older Gen Xers. And people say like, well, I was raised to be polite. If it's upsetting people and you're still doing it, were you raised to be polite? Or were you just raised to say sir and ma'am? Because it stops being polite for those people. They don't like it.
I don't know. I think I was talking to like a bank teller or a lady that was trying to do business on the phone. And I said, okay, honey, my name is not honey. My name is whatever it was.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a very Southern thing to do.
You
Yeah.
can call everyone dude here. That's fine.
No, I can't take that.
There you go, dude.
Dude,
Yeah.
So
Well,
Joellen,
I work with so many 20 somethings. It's really interesting.
How old are you?
How old am I?
Yeah.
64.
Yeah, pervasive use of dude is older than you.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that's true.
Yeah,
You say dude all the time.
sure do.
Although I am an OG at my company. I found out we have an LA transplant and he's one of my guys, and oh, he was just really impressed because I'd been there since the beginning. He says, I'm an OG. And I said, I'm sorry, what is an OG?
An original gangster.
It's an original gangster.
it is.
Yeah.
It is.
What does that mean?
An OG, the original. It's from early hip hop music when it transferred into what we know as contemporary rap music.
Yeah,
An
Yeah.
OG, someone who was in the scene from the beginning.
from the
Oh,
beginning.
I see.
A charter
An
member.
original gangster.
A charter. So, oh, I'm a charter member.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, he's cute. I mean, it's cute to listen to the different lingo.
Frank and I are on the opposite side of whether you say the before freeway. That isogloss is between us, just south of Fresno.
Wait,
So I
what?
would say I take the 5, and people above that also isogloss say you take 5 or I-5.
Oh,
It's definitely the. Like I take the 99, the 405.
Okay.
I never thought about that difference.
Oh, no, we
Yeah.
just say
Does that.
go 405 or 520
Yeah,
or
no.
whatever.
In this part of
High
Southern
five.
California, we are allied with Los Angeles. We say the. And then we can use hella only for adjectives. And once you get to San Francisco, you can use hella for an amount of things.
What's hella?
Like it's an intensifier to have a lot of something. If something is hella good,
and that,
hella
Like,
cool,
Or she
Never
has
heard of
hell
that.
of a lot.
that you cannot, in this part of California, you cannot say she has hella cats.
Yeah, not here.
San Franciscans can say that because it means she has a lot of cats. But here that
I've never
hella,
said
like,
it in my life in any context. So there.
but you could, and your neighbors would understand you.
I would probably say it wrong.
You would make hella syntactic errors.
Yes, exactly.
Like
I don't think I'll be using that in my patterns.
it's just semantics.
Hella
Hella syntactic errors. Just like, what is this in the notes? Version 1.01, hella syntactic errors.
Well, before we go, is there anybody else who wants to show us what they're working on?
No.
No, I bought the Kiss Lips Fish Heel, so hard to say. And no, I have nothing to show, but I did a few samples to see if it works. It does work, but anyway, we'll talk about it another time. But I was wondering that she doesn't make any gussets. She mentions that if someone has a high, I don't know if you say high or
Instep.
large instep, that you
Higher in
higher instep, that you increase 2 to 6 stitches before you start to turn the heel. But I was wondering, how do you figure out if you only measure the if you only trace the shape of the foot, how do you know if you need it or not? But we'll talk about it another time.
Yes, I don't know that either. So I'm going to put that heel on this sock I'm making, but I didn't do what you did. I didn't try it out first on a sample. How did you like the way it looked? Did it?
I love this type of short row.
Yeah.
I usually use the German short row, which
see.
worked fine, but I think I'm gonna adopt this method now.
Yeah.
I've used a big yarn, a worsted yarn, scrap yarn, so I could work faster because my husband has big feet. But it seemed to work.
Cool. I'm anxious to give it a try. Well, there's gonna looks like a lot of planning goes in before you can start.
I think it's normal for a sock so that it fits. You either method you're gonna use. Even, I mean, if you buy a pattern with a lovely stitch, not definition, stitch pattern, it might be nice, but maybe it won't fit for the person you want to knit it for.
So what type of short rows are you doing on your sock?
It's called Fish Lips Kiss pattern. It's a particular pattern on Ravelry. And I've read a number of different patterns for how people do short row heels as opposed to the standard, whatever the other, I don't know what to call it. What is the other kind of heel called with a gusset and a heel flap?
Heel flap.
What's that called?
Flap and gusset.
Flap and gusset.
The famous comedy duo.
So that's the only kind of sock I had even known about before. Somebody here mentioned short row heels. It turns out there's at least 6 different ways I've found to do the short rows for a short row heel. And at least one of them in a book was described so poorly I couldn't even figure out how to do it. So I won't tell you what book that was. I don't want to give anybody a bad name. And it was probably me rather than them. But there are just so many different ways to do the short rows. And I know there are 3 or 4 or 5 different ways to do a short row in general, but to do a short row heel, you do short rows in a certain way, and then you pick up the short rows and do something else when you're closing the other side of the heel. And so how you do those 2 steps changes from one style of heel to the next, even though they're all short row heels.
Right. Interesting. I haven't done short row heels either. Socks are one of those things I just kind of do.
I put a couple on my niece's dress, but that's it.
Oh, did you?
The peignets on the pink dress I made for my great niece are just short row heels.
Yes.
Oh, cute.
Well, it looks like it's about that time again.
Yeah.
Yep.
Bye, Rana.
Have a nice week,
Bye, everyone. Have a good week.
Bye,
And be
Rana.
safe. Bye-bye to all of you.
Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Ciao.
So nice to see you again.
Ciao,
And
yeah.
see you next week.
Yeah.